Have you ever felt, completely trapped in your own head, just stuck in this endless loop of thoughts? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what you can do to stop it. Think about it. Is there a voice in your head that just won't quit? Replaying a mistake, going over some awkward conversation, or just a worry that circles around and around? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are in the right place. That's the cycle of overthinking we're going to break down today. All right, so to break free from this thing, we first have to understand how it traps us in the first place. Let's dive in to what we're calling the web of thought. Okay, take a quick look at this list. Do any of these hit home for you? Maybe it's that habit of dwelling on something you just can't change. Or perhaps it's that constant self-blame. These right here are the classic signs that your mind is caught in that web of overthinking. So, if you were just nodding along to that last slide, you are definitely not alone. It's actually kind of shocking. A recent study found that a staggering 73% of adults between 25 and 35 say they overthink. So see, this isn't some personal failing. It's practically a modern epidemic. We fall into this trap where we think that if we just think about something more, we'll find a solution. But here's the paradox, and it's a big one. Overthinking doesn't actually solve anything. It's like a magnifying glass for our problems, making them feel way bigger and scarier than they really are. To really, really get how our thoughts can weigh us down, let's use a powerful little analogy. Let's call it the burdensome glass. Okay, so imagine you're holding a simple glass of water. For the first minute, no big deal, right? It's easy. You can barely even feel the weight. But what happens if you have to hold that exact same glass for a whole hour? The weight hasn't changed, not one bit. But now, your arm is really starting to ache. The burden is getting real. Now, just try to imagine holding it for a full day. The pain would be completely unbearable. You'd feel paralyzed by the strain, even though the glass itself is still just the same weight it was at the beginning. And that right there is the entire point. Your worries, your anxieties, they're exactly like that glass of water. The problem itself doesn't change, but the longer you hold on to it, the longer you carry it around, the heavier and heavier it feels. So the big question is, how do we put the glass down? Let's turn this idea into action with 4 simple steps to help you gain control. Here they are, 4 simple, but trust me, powerful techniques you can use to break that cycle. First, put the glass down. Second, use your body to interrupt the loop. Third, do something called a thought dump. And finally, practice making quick decisions. Let's look at each one. Okay, step 1. It all starts with a simple conscious choice. You have to decide to put the glass down. It sounds almost too simple, but just like you'd physically set that glass on a table, you have to actively decide to release the thought you're carrying and move forward. Ever notice that overthinking usually happens when you're sitting still? Well, the solution is to move. Seriously, get up and do 10 push-ups, or go for a brisk 5-minute walk, or even just splash some cold water on your face. Remember this simple rule. When the body moves, the thought loop breaks. All right, our third technique is the thought dump. And just look at the difference here. Inside our heads, thoughts are chaotic, they're repetitive, they're just overwhelming. But the moment we get them out and onto a piece of paper, they become organized, manageable, and even actionable. The real magic here is the signal it sends to your brain. See, when you write a thought down, you're basically telling your brain, hey, I hear you. This is important. I've captured it, and I can deal with it later. That simple act frees up all this mental space
so you can actually focus on what's right in front of you.
And that brings us to our fourth and final technique, building the habit of making quick decisions. Now, the key here is you've got to start small. We're talking about low stakes, everyday choices. I mean, think about it. Deciding quickly on something simple, like what to wear or where to eat lunch, forces you to break that cycle of overanalysis. Each one of those small, quick decisions is like a little workout for your brain. It builds your confidence and trains you to start trusting your own judgment.
So, after digging into the problem and laying out the solutions, we land here at the most important part, realizing that the decision to change is completely 100% in your hands. So, let's do a quick recap. These are your key takeaways. 1. Recognize that your nagging thoughts are just a glass of water that you can choose to put down. 2. Interrupt the cycle by moving your body. 3. Clear your mind by writing it all down. And 4. Build confidence by making small decisions quickly. You now have the tools. You absolutely have the power to break this pattern. So really, the only question left is this: which glass will you choose to put down today?